Right then, hello everyone and welcome to ExA. We are here for the third season around the Italian Grand Prix and we're at the Temple of Speed here. I am joined by William.
Hello.
And we are at the Sweatfest Grand Prix, so this is the fastest drivers you'll get to see tonight. 16 only attendance was, so it's a bit of a shame. We could have been on course for a full grid, but 16 drivers is still not that bad, and we are going to start off with qualifying. Hopefully the racing is just as good as X4 and X2. Obviously X3 hasn't shown its full potential yet, but we're on for a good Grand Prix, I think, here today. And we're just waiting for people to start their laps. So tell me, who do you think is going to win the Grand Prix? Obviously, we don't know everybody's true pace yet, but
yeah,
obviously...
Well, we know some from console and X-Play. So I think the front runners maybe Artem and Leo, and maybe a bit of Alfie and Alexis in there too. But you can never really tell at round one.
Well, all discussions come towards round 12. Obviously, we've only got a 12 race calendar this season. We don't get any week breaks, so we've got to go 12 weeks straight of driving, racing, commentary. Obviously, we get the weekend off as well, so there's no more weekend racing in ExA. Lexus, in the middle of Parabolica, getting a slide, a tank slapper there from the Mercedes. Constructors champions, him and Surprise from last season in X-Play Division 2. Lexus being moved up into Division 1 for this season. We'll see how well he can do. He's been he was a very good driver last season, obviously just coming short to Rowley. But now there are a few people on their laps as Giovanni heads through turn 1 and 2. But who's the driver to look out for? Who's going to be the danger man?
I think Artem definitely, and Leo, and maybe even Giovanni here, because he's got a lot of space, and he's got very tidy laps so far through Sector 1.
Well, Giovanni then heading through Lesmos 1 and 2, easy to get all the back end stepping out, and now he's got that DRS straight that leads us into the Ascari chicane. And he needs a good middle sector here as well. It's a 52.8 from Giovanni as he heads through Ascari. Takes a very nice line there. And Leo,
not
yeah.
amazingly quick for a banker in X1. Well, Lexus set though. Oh no, I think he boxed. Yeah, probably validated there. But Artem then. 19.8, that's good.
Giovanni then, the quickest of them all, and his teammate currently in P3, which is Lucas at the moment. Leo not setting a very good banker lap there from the Red Bull. Maybe he can improve, but maybe he's got a lot of work to do. Is he good round this track? This is the main question. Obviously, we saw the pole time of a 1:19.5 yesterday. David, he goes up into P2 there, 1:19.7. Everyone seems to be a bit off the pace here from Giovanni, so did we expect this coming by any chance?
No, not really. I thought Artem would be straight on the pace, and Alfie as well. And especially Leo. Not the amazing banker that he probably wanted straight away.
Yeah, I see you put in a very decent lap there on the front row. Obviously, there's still a lot more people to cross the line. Robin then. I know his pace from other leagues. Obviously, I've raced with him a lot of other times as well. He's only set a 53.6 in the middle sector. Obviously, these are going to be only banker laps. Obviously, these are some of the greatest drivers across all Steam and consoles as well. So we'll see what Robin can do as well as he heads through Parabolica. Now needs a good exit out of Parabolica. What's it going to be here for Robin? I don't think it's going to be the quickest. No, it's not. He's only behind Leo by a couple of tenths. Well, not a couple of tenths, but by a couple of thousandths, to say.
Oh, he cuts the corner though.
Yeah, I'm guessing it is allowed, but we'll have to see via the stewards. Pilots
I don't think
setting.
it was allowed. Oh, Artem.
Yeah, Artem setting the representative lap
Straight onto
time.
the pace.
Yeah.
Hopefully, well, we'll see if he can get his third world title this season.
Well, still a long way to go. We're only round 1 out of 12. There's still, after this one, there will be 11 rounds to go, and obviously we're in the first week of the season as well. So, this,
Ripka sets a 52.7
yeah,
for
he has
sector 2.
invalidated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at Rutger now, coming around the final corner. I think this won't be the fastest time overall. It will be P2 though, just beating Giovanni to the line there, to the front row. Obviously, it's quite close, looking at the bankers at the moment. So, obviously, you know, obviously now we're getting to know people's pace a little bit more.
Yeah. Incomplete is on a lap now. He's going through sector 1 now. No, he's now into sector 2. 26.3 for his first sector.
Yeah, as he now heads through Lesmos 1 and 2 for the Ferrari. He just needs some good exits and good entries. This is what Italy is all about: speed, good entries, exits. That's what you need at every track, more than likely. But as he now comes through the middle sector into Ascari, a bit hesitant there on entry, but he needs the good exit. Gets a fairly decent exit coming out the Ascari chicane. Now needs some good straight line speed. He's done all the corner work. He's just got one more corner to go, and that's the last piece of corner work, and then that
Yeah, I
is
think this will
foot
be
to
a
the floor.
20.4.
Oh, we
Ooh.
spun. Well, he's managed to get the car around anyway. And yeah, it will have to be an only bank lap there from the Scuderia at their home Grand Prix as well. Obviously, Ferrari took it on the last lap around their home Grand Prix on Wednesday night. Can Ferrari do it again?
Possibly. They look strong in X2. Maybe they can do it in X1 as well. Lexus 26.3. Low 26.3 in the first sector. Maybe he'll get into the 19s here. Looking like a high 19s, I think.
Yeah, and he's now coming through the exit of Lesmo onto the DRS straight. That puts us toward the end of the middle sector at the start of the Ascari chicane. Now he just needs some good straight line speed. He needs to get early enough on the brakes so he has that good rotation into the corner. Gets very good rotation there, and he's stuck in gear 7 now, up into gear 8. He's stuck in gear 7 for a bit of time there actually. I don't know what he's doing there. Maybe it's just one of those things that people do like to do. But Galexus now comes round the final corner, which is Parabolica, and it's going to be a 19.9. That's a shock there from the Mercedes.
Yeah, Leo was on a lap, but I think he's just binned his lap or invalidated probably his lap, so it will not improve. But Robin is now on a lap. Oh no, never mind, he's on an in lap, I think. Oh no, I think he's on the second out lap. Yeah. Ooh, Giovanni, 19.2 there. Puts in P1. About a 10th quicker than Artem in P2. But with only 8 minutes to go in the session. We'll possibly see a high 18s in the session maybe. And there's LFR David says a 19.1, which puts him almost about a tenth quicker than Giovanna, and about 2 tenths. Yes, 2 and a bit tenths quicker than R10. And ICUC sets a 19.25, which puts P3. Now incomplete, 53.2 through sector 2. He's nice and aggressive through Ascari. Gets a slight bit of oversteer, but I don't think it's going to really affect his lap here. Going into 5th, short shifting into 6th, and using as much of the track then, going to the inside of the track. What this lap going to be? Low 20s, oh no, it's a high 19s, 19.9, which puts in P9. Leo starting a lap here. Breaks someone, hits the apex nicely. Short shifting into 4th to get that traction down, and then into 5th. Staying tight here. Toward turn number 3, I think. See what sector 1 time is going to be. It's a 26.2. It's 3 times quicker than his previous lap. Nice and aggressive through that corner. He's using all of the track here. Down into 6th to get that traction. He goes a bit wide onto the car, but it doesn't really affect him. Into 6th again. Nice apex from him, maximising all the track. Staying tight again onto this straight. He's 8 tenths up on his lap. Nice section of Ascari, but he has to lift slightly, so he doesn't invalidate. Oh no, this is a very quick lap from him. Oh, 19.5, P6. Good improvement, but I don't think it's the most that he wants as his final lap. I think after his recent efforts, he'd want to be high up in the top 3. Not ideal for him.
Oh, sorry, I had my mic on mute. I forgot. Yeah, they can't hear you in the chat for some reason.
Really?
I don't. Well, you're a bit quiet. They can hear you, but you're a bit quiet.
Is this better? What's that? Too loud.
Yeah. I have just turned you up in the party chat as well. So.
Yeah, because my mic is on minimum. Is this better?
That's a really loud. It's
Oh,
really
sorry.
loud. Yeah, it's really loud for my ears. Maybe I just need to turn my mic down a little bit.
Is this better?
Way better.
Yeah, that's 2 clicks for a minimum. The one that was too loud was on me. I think it was on the middle.
Yeah, I just turned my mic down a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Is that any better, chat? Please do let us know as soon as possible. Artem currently on a lap, I think, and he heads through into the first sector. He is 300 up on his first sector. Chat saying yes, it's better, so thanks on the feedback there. Now heading through Lesmo 1. Easy to get it all crossed up there. Artem has looked pretty strong on his time trials, but he's not doing very strong in the short qualifying so far. Maybe that's just considerable for his race pace, maybe, but he's down. He's 400th down on his middle sector now, heading through the exit of Ascari. Now needs that
I
straight
think
line
he
speed.
took too much inside curve there because he had to lift quite a bit.
Yeah, as he now heads through the final turn, which is Parabolica, and a little bit too much curve there on entry, but now just
It's
taking that
maybe a
short route.
slight improvement.
No,
Yeah.
it's a massive improvement, but still a 119.2. But it's very close at the moment. We don't. It's too close to call. Alfie
Yeah.
then currently on
Alfie's
the
on a
lap.
lap as well.
Yeah, Alfie anyway heading through the first sector on that long right-hander that leads us to the second chicane on the exit of the first sector. The McLaren takes as much curve as possible to gain so much time there. Heading through Lesmo 1, just needs some good exits. Doesn't take the same lines as the some of the esports drivers do, but there's a
He
spin
taps
out
the
of
grass as well.
I don't think he did, but I don't know if it's just a visual get from you, but oh well. Richard has retired from the session. He's happy with the front row. Alfred then nearly 2/10 up on his middle sector and spins. Yeah, I could see that coming. Could see
I think
that
he was
coming.
pushing way too hard for Ascari. That possibly ruined his chances of a front row finish.
Right then, qualifying is done.
ICUC
Just quickly
is
though,
up by 200.
Giovanno is nearly up by 0.2 of a second now, coming through the last turn of Parabolica. Can Giovanno set himself onto provisional pole here ahead of David? This is the main question. No, he won't. He's 0.2 down. He was 0.2 up on his middle sector time, so pole will not be his. David, he's going to have to stick with what he's
ICUC
got.
is up on his time by 1/10. They had a very nice Ascari, and he could be on for a pole here because he's up by 1/10. As the front runners are not able to improve, this could be pole for him now.
I see you then coming around the final corner. Is this pole position here for Mercedes? Mercedes have struggled in real life, but they can get their hopes up. Yes, they have by 4,000 of a second. 4,000 of a second there. They have got pole, but what? Thomas, he's down anyway, so he'll start P15. Mr. Milan without a time. And ICU is your pole sitter here for the Italian Grand Prix. I thought we would have been in the 118th here tonight, but shock horror, 119.182 there.
I think maybe if Artem and Alfie didn't bin the laps, they maybe if they were pushing a bit more, Giovanni, Artem and Lucas, maybe even Alfie and Leo could have gone to the 18s. I think they definitely have the pace around this track, and they look like they had the pace, but they just weren't able to get the consistency down, I don't think.
Well, I can tell you one thing, you are right there, but Glexus unluckily P11, obviously being the championship contender in Division 2, it's a bit of a different story in Division 1. Faster drivers, more competition, and yeah, obviously with these PlayStation drivers, they've got the more experience here in ExA. So obviously ExA was first to PlayStation League. But anyway, I'm just going to go through the grid rundown. ICU then bagging pole for Mercedes. Mercedes have not had a pole in real life since, I'd say, basically Brazil, but that's a sprint pole. But if you're talking qualifying terms, that would be the Hungaroring. P2 is David, Rutger P3, Giovanni P4, Artem P5, Lucas P6, Leo P7, P8 is Robin, P9 is Alfie, P10 is Pilot, P11 is Glexus, P12 is Safu, P13 Incomplete, Orax P14, Thomas P15, and Mr. Milan P16. So interesting qualifying there. ICU bagging his first pole position of the season. It would have been pole position for anyone. Well, it would have been anyone's first pole of the season, obviously,
I think
since we're only in the
anyone in the
first round.
top 7 and Alfie as well could have maybe bagged a front row start, because they all looked like they had the pace. They just weren't able to set a competitive time at the end of the session. Definitely have the pace to do it though. It's unfortunate that Glex is missing out. He has a lot of pace, as we've seen from last season.
Right then, the race the formation lap will begin in just 30 seconds time. People are waiting to do their strategies, fuel strategies, and then it will all be fine. But now, what I've realised about the pit crew is it's not just 2 people doing a T-pose, it's now 3 people doing a T-pose. What is going on at EA? Like,
Yeah.
it was 1, then 2, and then 3 all of a sudden. Like, what is going on?
Oh, and also the Haas and the Aston down there. And the AlphaTauri. Wait, there's all of them.
Yeah,
And the McLaren.
Yeah, it's all of them. They do it the whole race in qualifying. I don't understand why. I think it's just the whole race actually, not qualifying as well. It's really weird. It's a really weird glitch. I actually can't wait till F123 comes out. I'll be honest. This season will fly by.
I don't think it's like the visual glitches that's the problem. It's just the traction. Because the traction is so unrealistic to real life. It's even much harder than real life.
Oh yeah,
I
totally agree.
Flat out in 3rd gear out of turn 1, but you can't even go flat out in 4th or 5th sometimes, even if you go 5th early enough.
Well, I am practicing no traction and manual gears as well, and I tell you what, Austria is the easiest track to practice it around, and you know I'm already setting a 104.7. I tried Spain yesterday, that was no good because I short shifted to 3rd gear, and well, you get stuck in gear 2, and then you have to short shift to gear 3 so quickly on the exit of turn 5. I think it's turn 5.
For me, I don't really normally go below 4th at most tracks. Sometimes I go 3rd for the rotation, but I normally just stay 4th. I mean, at Monza, turn 1 and 2, you know, 3rd, but then the rest of the lap I just stick it in 4th and then 5th. And then 5th and 6th for the final sector.
Oh, sorry about that, Glexus, mate. I didn't see it. I was just focusing on qualifying. Anyway, we've got to go through tyres. The most of the grid are starting on hards, fair enough. Pilot on mediums, Incomplete on mediums, Mr. Milan on mediums. 2 people on soft, which is Alfie and Thomas. That is it for the tyres then. That is it for the formation lap. We are going to go towards 5 red lights. Terrible camera angles as usual from EA. We're just waiting for Mr. Milan now to park himself. Well, we're just waiting for about 4 more drivers. I can see what Safu's doing there. He's doing some creative series moves, which is kind of respectable actually. But these drivers now are just lining up onto the grid, making sure they get their parkings correct. Only one driver did not get their parking correct, which was Giovanni. And now we are moving to 5 red lights here in the Temple of Speed, Monza. It's lights out and away we go. Pedal to the metal here for the Sweatfest Division, ExA Division 1. And David got off to a fantastic start there. Artem also off to a fantastic start. David goes on the inside here, of ICU, and David takes the lead here at the Italian Grand Prix. I tell you something, it was a clean start. Glexus took the Sebastian Vettel line, as he said in the chat earlier. Lucas got a good start as well. Same with Incomplete, and I just thought there.
He locks up there.
Yeah, I just thought incomplete and Lucas made a little bit of contact. Mr. Milan also getting off to a good start as well. He's ahead of Leo heading through into Lesmo. One good start there from the Aston Martin driver. Can ICU bounce back here on the AlphaTauri? That is going to be the main question. Good start there from David as well. So what did you make of that start then, William?
It looked very clean, I think, other than Glex going off and then Robin spinning. It was a good start. Great start from Artem, and even better start from Mr. Milan.
Yeah, I think there's a few collisions at the bottom of the field. Unless it's just battling, and I think it's going to go three wide between obviously three drivers. One just absolutely sends it and gets the move done, which is Leo. There is absolute massive battle in here for one position, and that is P7 Alfie already into the pit lane here, and same with Rutger as well. Robin also coming into the pit lane. I've just sent him across the pit lane entry there. That could be a penalised worth moment for the Ferrari driver. Four drivers into the pit lane for a new set of front wings. Thomas making some moves there on Galexus. Safi then going around the outside, well on the inside, sorry, of the long right hand corner, and he gets the moves done there on the Division 2 Constructors Champion. But moving back up to the field, you can see Giovanna now on the tail of the McLaren. Obviously no DRS enabled till lap 3, so... alright, yeah, Sam. Right, I've just figured that out. Thanks for that, Rowley. Anyway, R1 to change the camera settings there. Thanks for that, Rowley. Do appreciate it. The Haas then of Giovanna now just on the tail of Artem. Artem seemed a little bit strong coming into this one, but doesn't seem... oh, I've just pressed on the menu by accident. I'm so used to it. DRS enabled then David with the fastest lap there of 123. Leo robs the fastest lap there in the Red Bull, 123.0. Safu now making moves on... Thomas there. Thomas might just go back on the inside, thinks about it, and Alfie is a retirement, so that could cause a safety car, and it is a virtual safety car within lap 3. So yeah, what did you make of those first 3 laps? Obviously you thought of what happened within the first lap, so what about the first 3?
I think they've been clean. There's been a big four-way battle, including Galexus for P7, I think, where Leo was leading it, but it's great stuff from Incomplete and Mr. Milan. Yeah, unfortunate for a virtual safety car, and it's just made Alfie's race from bad to worse as he DNFs.
Right, okay. ICU then will still be chasing down for PR, and Rutger is the first man with a penalty here in this Grand Prix, and now we are just waiting for the VSC to end. And we are just waiting. Come on, AI, get it sorted. You've got the car off the track. I think it is now ending, so the drivers are going up to speed as we head into turn 1 then. He thinks about it on the inside for some reason, even though the VSC is still going apparently. Is that just a glitch? DRS enabled, and we're back to racing once again. Orax retiring.
Ooh, Irish spinned it.
Oh no,
straight
please.
Away. I don't think it's going to be another virtual safety car or a safety car. We just had it.
Why do I think people are doing this on purpose?
I don't think they are, because, I mean, Skyri is such a... wait, I think it's... yeah, Skyri is such a bad place for traction. I mean, we've seen it in quali when people on good lap are pushing too hard. I think people are over-pushing currently just to perform, and I just don't think it's worth it currently at these early stages. I mean, lap 26 or something, if you're trying, and it's, and you have nothing to lose, it's just too much push.
Rutger. Oh no, 3 DNFs in the first 4 laps. Come on, boys. Oh, traction is an evil thing on this game. You can't really moan at the drivers sometimes for it, but EA, it can be a skill issue from EA, to be honest. It can, sometimes,
Yeah.
it
And
depends.
apparently from Robin, it's going to rain soon. So the people on the hards are just really unlucky currently.
Well, oh, I see you getting a massive tank slapper there, and you can see Artem coming on the inside out of absolute nowhere, and that's going to give David a bit of a cutting edge. Sorry to go on the menu once again. I'm so used to it. It's just, you know, I'm not going to say that word. There's no point. There is just no point of me saying that word, and obviously the crossplay is coming into
Artem
play
has a
there.
bit of a lag back there.
Yeah,
Lost quite a bit of time.
it's crossplay, unfortunately. But 3
Yeah.
DNFs in the first 4 laps there, it's quite shocking actually for the top division, and it's Orax, Alfie and Rutger. Giovanni now making, well, trying to make up some places, but is this now the turning point where nothing happens whatsoever?
Ooh, Glex's big snap of oversteer through that corner.
Yeah, Ascar is going to be a pain for a lot of the drivers.
Yeah.
But Glexus seems to be struggling out there on the road today. I don't think
He's
it's...
still gaining on the Red Bull ahead of him though.
Yeah, but I don't know whether he's practiced a lot for this. Obviously, we won't know until
Knowing
we see.
Glex's, I suppose he'd practice.
Yeah, but sometimes with PC drivers, they don't bother. It's not because they're good, but, you know, that.
I think
they know
last
what they're
season
doing
in Division
anyway.
2, Glex just didn't really have to,
Yeah.
didn't really have to practice for getting race wins. But you know, obviously in D1 it's a much bigger stake. So now this season, with even quicker drivers than last season.
Well, yeah, obviously, console being an absolute calamity of divisions last season, it just didn't rack up the attendance. That is Mr.
Yeah, it
Milan
was good
making a
with
few
PlayStation
mistakes.
first season, but I don't think it was going to last. Really.
Yeah, obviously, you need to make all these divisions crossplay eventually. Once the crossplay does indeed come out, obviously, stick with PlayStation for a little bit longer, and then, boom, go on to, yeah. X2 last season. I remember
I didn't have
it.
any struggles last time with crossplay. I don't think it was just fine, but for other drivers it wasn't so good.
Just quickly, Rowley wants me to say the line. Rowley was your Division 2 drivers champion from last season, as I've said, probably the 4th time this week. Is that the line that you wanted me to say, or was it something different? Because if it was something different, I do not remember. My memory sucks a lot, actually. So, if it is that, then yeah. Spot on, yeah, thought so. But yeah, Rowley was your Division 2 champion last season. In Division 1 in crossplay, it was actually the Lethal Sniper. He doesn't race in here no more. He became a champion and just, yeah, dipped. He's not out of the server, but... Yeah, but it is what it is. You get new champions.
He's now racing WR Tier 2, I think, in PC.
Yeah, I've seen on Tom 97's video. Artem, anyway, making up a few places. ICU has dropped down. I think Giovanno also made a mistake there on Ascari, which bumped Artem up into the top 2. So it's an all PlayStation now. Top 3, would you believe it? That's really weird, considering we've got all these other PC drivers. Robin now making up a few places as well, because that's Thomas making a few mistakes at the back. You change. Yes, I keep forgetting. Yes, I keep forgetting. Sorry, Rowley, I keep forgetting. I'm so used to pressing this button and that screen just coming up out of nowhere and so on. It's going to take a lot of time to get used to, actually, since I press square a lot and, you know. But anyway, Artem will be on the chasing, and he's got the DRS, so he'll be catching up to David as fast as possible. It looks like from this angle that David has his DRS wide open, but that is not true. That is just me, my eyes maybe, I don't know, but yeah. It all comes down to straight line speed. We are going to see a number one battle here tonight, hopefully between Artem and David. That'd be good, actually, to see a all PlayStation top one battle. Obviously we've seen a PlayStation driver win the championship last season in ExA Division 2, which is obviously Rowley. So Giovanno now thinking of it on the inside. Incomplete. Now going side by side here with Lucas, and Incomplete gets the move done very nicely there. Nicely shaped format of car there from the Ferrari, and makes Ferrari a little bit more happy now as they are into the top 5. That would bag them about 12 points now, since it is since ExA have their own point system, not like the real life point system. Thanks for this, EA. Terrible camera angles as usual. We do not want to see real life camera angles. We want to see our own camera angles, which is either on board or the TV broadcast mode. This is an onboard kind of, but yeah, it's a rip-off version of the onboard. Artem now trying to chase David. Is getting ever so close to that rear of the AlphaTauri. Now he's just got one more straight until the DRS, and Artem is going to be chasing him down like a madman. He's currently on the hard tyres. Apparently, as William said, there will be rain in a few moments' time. Let's watch out for that crossover. You can see the clouds are actually incoming. I wonder where they're coming from, actually. Maybe the UK, I'm not too sure. But Artem now coming down the straight into turn 1. I don't think he will get this move done down this straight. No, we won't. We are now at the braking zones. But can you see anything that's going on at the moment, William? Do you see anything?
No, not really so far. I mean, as you said, rain looks like to be incoming, but I don't really think for another 2 or 3 laps it's really going to come in. The rain is really not really going to come down for the next 2 or 3 laps, in my opinion. So I think the hard runners may have a slight advantage here on the medium runners, because the medium runners, I mean, 13 laps. I think their tyres will be almost dead at the end of end of that stint. Or the hard runners should have
interestingly, sorry to interrupt there, but Mr. Milan has just come into the pit lane for a fresh set of softs. I wonder what he's doing there. The Aston Martin, that's pretty interesting. Artem, will he have another chance? I hope so. I hope he gets enough traction out of this final corner. You can see he's struggling. You need to stop hitting that curb, Artem. You're not going to get you're not going to get very far if you hit that curb. It's up to you though. You carry on what you do. You can see Artem using all that battery. We are going to see a P1 battle here. Come on, Artem, send it. He thought about it, but
I mean, he's got more battery than David here. So, but also ICU's got more battery than Artem. And Giovanno's got more battery than all of them. So this is going to be an interesting fight. Maybe Incomplete can also catch up while these two are fighting. With these fighting.
Now you can see the clouds just incoming onto the Italian circuit here, where the bank corner used to be. A few people died on that bank corner back in 1966 when England, just to put out a cheeky one there, England won the World Cup. But yeah, now DRS is incoming for Artem. A bit off topic there from me, but yeah, it is what it is. It's pretty boring at the moment, considering we are waiting for a P1 battle. Artem, he might have just got a track limits warning there. He cut a bit of the entry of Ascari. Lucas with the 3-second time penalty. And Artem has that straight line speed. He could have had that straight line speed to overtake David.
Yeah, he's actually lifting down the straight, because I think the AlphaTauri was lifting down the straight, and I had this last Wednesday, 9x2 when I was slipstreaming person down that straight and they just lift and almost brake checked me so they could get DRS. Didn't really work in the end because I ended up bump driving them down through the DRS.
Just to quickly interrupt, sorry about that once again. Artem now going around the outside and then the inside and then the outside. But now Artem has the inside and he takes the lead of the Grand Prix here just before the crossover happens. But I think David will stick onto the rear here of the McLaren. The champion from last season in console Division 1. Will he become is the first three-time world champion in ExA? Obviously, already being a two-time world champion from the console divisions, or PlayStation divisions, which were usually known as. David, he's going to get the DRS, so he'll gain a bit of time. What's the difference? Who's got the more ERS? It is Artem indeed. ICU, maybe he can... think of something. Mr. Milan getting the fastest lap there of the race, so that might be sticking with him to the end of the race. Obviously, the rain is indeed incoming, as you can see the clouds drifting over the circuit. So the rain clouds are not out just yet, but it's the cloudy clouds, and now the rain is starting to pour. The rain clouds are now here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, after maybe boxing, none of the top four are boxing. They're staying out one more lap.
Yeah, the track is not wet enough. It's only just started raining. But as you can see now, David just did not have that straight line speed to cope with Artem. Is this going to be a struggle here from AlphaTauri this evening? I'm not too sure. But
I think most of the drivers will struggle now because obviously most of them are no traction and medium traction. So they'll be getting a lot of oversteer now as it's getting wetter and they're all in slicks.
Yeah, obviously you have to use the medium traction control. You're not allowed to use full TC. I mean, you'd be too slow for this division anyway if it was full TC, because you wouldn't even stand a chance in the race actually. So
we've seen some quick full TC drivers though.
Over the seasons, but now is the time to start using that medium traction control. And
yeah.
Full TC, it's just overpowered. It gets too overpowered at times, especially in wet conditions. It is so overpowered in wet conditions. But David now is going to get another chance of slipstream. Now he's saved a lot of battery actually. Has the AlphaTauri? He's got 40%.
Artem's staying out. David's boxing.
Yeah, same advice to you and Giovanna. I can see what David is doing.
It's still a bit too early because they still DRS. So.
Oh, he's gone on to mediums.
Oh, that must be a glitch from the game, I think. Because that's just messed up his race as we can see the rain. But maybe it dries up later on.
Rowley predicts that Leo and Nilu, or Safu, whatever you like to call him, has a wet setup on. So that could be the case. You can see some of the drivers are using their dry setups due to just wanting to be quicker. David now on a set of medium tyres. That is not going to go to the end. He's got to do an extra stop, because if that rain sticks to the surface, he is done for. He's got nothing to face now. That's just an R10 win in the books. But ICU, the pole sitter for this evening, he could get onto the rear now of R10. And R10...
I think maybe David had a glitch from the game, because I would have thought if he boxes, he'd box for Inders. I mean, you can see the game raining, so I wouldn't understand why he wouldn't box. So he's almost just thrown away a win here.
Yeah, Artem and ICU now boxing onto the Inter, same with Giovanni as well. All three of them are different teams, so luckily they will not have to double stack.
Incomplete stays out.
I mean, Ferrari get to lead a few laps of their own Grand Prix in X1, but won't be for long, unfortunately, unless they do a cheeky little undercut there. But Glexus now fighting Safu, and Glexus gets up into P4. DRS disabled, so that's how you know the rain is falling down. Is it too early for Artem? David and ICU. David now goes round the outside here of an Inters of Artem, and now David has the inside line. Not better traction from Artem, obviously, due to being on the intermediate tyres, but you can see the mediums are so much
But I
faster
think
at the moment.
towards the end of this lap, David's really going to lose out. Especially in the Scari where it's really traction critical. I mean, you can see Artem's low end speed is really not good on those inters, but I mean, it is now falling with rain, so I think
Yeah.
David's now going to struggle. I think he now just has to box, or else he's going to really struggle for the end of the race, unless this dries up. Maybe he's on a dry setup and thinks that he can try maybe extend these mediums to the end of the race.
Yeah, but the only problem is
Looks
he's
unlikely
boxed.
there.
He's boxed for a set of mediums, and Glexus getting a big tank slapper there on exit a Parabolica, and he's got to have to see that position. Nilu Safu stays out on the dries, so the crossover period is now here, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing intermediate conditions. Will we see full wet? That is going to be the main question. Incomplete also stays out for another lap, and I don't think he thinks that it's sticking to the surface yet. So Robin, he's going to have to wait for Mr. Milan to box. Obviously, we're going to see a battle from there on between these two at the back for P13. But no, DNF
You can
since
see
lap
the
4.
traction advantage Artem has out of that corner. He's gained almost 4 tenths, and Giovanno's now overtaken David. And ICUC. Wow, this is all going downhill for David. He goes around the outside, but he just has to cut the corner there because not the grip.
Oh dear, oh dear. David losing out on this win for sure. It has really gone down the drain. But now I think it's time for Artem to shine. And you can see now he's not gaining too much on Giovanno. Giovanno has gained a place there on ICU. So it's a bit of a complex race at the moment here. Are we going to see a P1 battle like we did in X4 and X2? Obviously, we didn't get to see much of X3 due to there being technical issues. Robin gets a 10-second time penalty there for corner cutting, incomplete with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But incomplete now, and Safu, they will not stay P1 and 2 for long because Artem is now literally coming past the pit lane to retake the lead of this race. Obviously, he hasn't led every lap of this race, so will not get a Grand Slam, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Grand Slams are very hard to get in Formula 1 these days due to multiple regulation changes happening. Obviously, you know, Lewis Hamilton, he has 6 Grand Slams, so it's hard to beat if you want to beat 6 Grand Slams. Grand Slams are very hard to get in Formula 1. They are very rare at times. But do you think we'll see a Grand Slam this season from someone?
I think maybe if Artem keeps up this pace and just keeps up the consistency, and maybe is able to set a decent qualifying lap towards the end of the session, I think he's definitely able to attempt a Grand Slam here. But I think Artem is now going to struggle to keep the lead of this race because Giovanno and ICUC's got about 60 RS, and Artem's got low ends of 30s on his ERS.
Just quickly as well, Leo has overtaken David as well, so David is in a lot of trouble here in this race. It looks like it's already drying up from my perspective, but maybe that's just my eyes. The track is still quite wet, it's still a bit greasy out there, so yeah, maybe David will have to come into the pit lane, unfortunately, at some point. You can see he's struggling. He's just saved it from having front wing damage, so that might have scared Incomplete a little, actually. I don't think he was ghosted on his screen.
His race has gone down the drain.
Yeah, he's gone into the pit lane. That is for a wet tyre, which is going to be the intermediates. That's the only tyre you can physically go on between now and the end of the race. Artem's still leading this one. He's led near enough every lap of this race. From lap 18, well, not every lap, but he got a good start. He overtook David one of the laps, and he's just dominating now. He's 1 second ahead now of ICU, who was our pole sister for tonight. So it's going to be a real tough task for the drivers behind to catch up to Artem. And Thomas has retired, so that could mean something. And it is a full course safety car. we are going to see the pack bunch up. Interesting. But yeah, that is going to pack the bunch up. That is so wrongly worded. That is going to bring the pack together and closer, and maybe even challenge Artem a little bit. Obviously, it's been pretty boring this race, I can't lie. Really, we don't talk about it, okay? Pack the bunch up. You know what? We should start saying that, you know, pack the bunch up. Come on, let's pack the bunch up, guys. Well, it's kind of
safety
also.
car? What happened? I was gone.
Thomas retired.
On track, or did he just bin it?
He binned it. Obviously, you have to retire if you bin it and lose your will. So, but oh, that is icy. You nearly going deep there. But yeah, pack the bunch up, guys. Come on. Does no one agree? Pack the bunch up. Right, you can't disagree with me on that one. Because you got to bunch the pack. So you got to pack the bunch.
Chat that he's packing his bags and going on iRacing. Hopefully he'll finish the race first, though.
Yeah, it has been a bit stressful for him. Obviously, you know, he lost the championship last season, and yeah, it all played onto his mind on the off season, and he's, you know, on the day that really won the championship at Abu Dhabi, he's lost. He's obviously, well, he's dropped a bit of confidence.
Just took advantage of Glex's wheelbase issues and was able to just take the title from him. I think maybe if Glex just didn't have those wheelbase issues, but with the consistency he was having, he maybe would have won the championship.
Yeah, really. I mean, the driver's surprise was very consistent. Obviously, I was teammates with him last season for a little bit, and then he joined Mercedes to go and win the constructors with Glexus, which is fair enough. Glexus now Glexus obviously now a Division 1 driver out of 4 divisions. Sorry about that, but yeah, Glexus has dropped a bit of confidence since the season finale at Abu Dhabi in season 2. Obviously, I think Glexus joined in season 1 when ExA Division 1 first come around. Obviously, we had the PlayStation divisions such on, and so on. But now, really saying 11 consecutive top 5s, bro. Yeah, fair enough. You know, I can't get 11 consecutive top 5s. If I reach about 2 consecutive top 5s, then I either DNF twice or I finish outside of the points. So that's my luck, unfortunately. When I win a race, when I got my Grand Slam in Belgium, season 1, you know, it's... What was I saying now? I forgot. I literally just said it. Are you joking me? You are joking me. Well, anyway, yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah, when I won, obviously the next race, which was at Canada or Britain, I think it was Canada actually. Yeah, I just dropped. It might have been Britain. It might have been Britain. Obviously I was leading. I led for a little bit over Alfie when Alfie was Division 2 pace, and then I led for a little bit and got a drive through which completely muddled my race up, and that's what really put me out of contention for the Drivers' Championship that season, and even Canada as well when I got spun by JMX, if some of you remember her. So yeah, I got spun by JMX in Canada.
Robin's boxing as well as David. I think the new set of inters are wets, maybe. It's a new set of inters.
I thought Robin had no front wing there for a little bit, but obviously he didn't. So yeah, today I've struggled to get my words out. It's been a hard day for me, to be honest. So, but them to a box, Mr. Milan's still got a lot of catching up to. What is he doing on the mediums? What is he doing? No, he won't. He literally won't. He's got a box again because he's on mediums. Like, what is that, mate? Box.
Maybe it's a mistake from the game.
He's stayed
Why is he
out.
not boxing?
He stayed out.
Maybe he
that?
thinks it's gonna dry out.
Well, you can't really get a mistake from the game. You just saying this. You can't. It's you that chooses the ties. It's not specifically EA. Oh dear, Mr. Milan. Oh dear. Let's check the penalties. Let's just
I think
embarrass
he
him.
should really think about retiring now. Because I mean, he's just holding up the pack now.
Well, safety car's in the slap anyway. Just to embarrass Mr. Milan a little bit, 16 seconds worth of time penalties. Robin, he can't help his 10 seconds. David, he can't help his... Well, he can because of track limits. Robin, I don't think he really can, to be honest, because he probably took the Sebastian Vettel line. I think Lucas also got a telling penalty for exceeding track limits, corner cutting, slash... Sorry about that, guys. It's pretty boring, I can't lie, but we have to get up as commentators and deal with it. We're on lap 21 now, out of 27. At least it's not 100% races. League racing actually used to be 100% races until they got short. Someone thought of the idea to shorten them to 50%. Green flags, go, go, go once again, and Leo has left the session, so I think that is for a glitch, and Pilot will easily take P4. There is a massive scrap, and David on an absolute charge at the moment. He's made a massive send into turn 1, and you can see that gets a better exit, and he's now up into P8. What a fantastic dive bomb there from the AlphaTauri, just to compromise his exit as well. What a move that was. I think Galexus now on the outside of Robin as well, and they go side by side and make contact, massive contact. Robin has to yield just to not put himself on the gravel and lose more and more time. He'd have lost more time anyway because of that yield, but he had to either way or else he's getting a penalty. Mr. Mann struggling on those mediums, but is there another crossover? It seems to be spitting now. Just that. Obviously, Leo now down into P9, but he's making his moves back up the table. He's back into the session, luckily, and now he's back up into P8.
Lucas.
Oh, Lucas! Whoa, he almost took out Robin and Glexus at the same time as well. Very lucky to stay alive in this race, Lucas. Very well done on the save as well as he heads now into the final corner, and we'll start lap 23 out of 27. So 5 laps to go here around the Temple of Speed. Obviously 5 laps to go around Monza. Well, 5 laps to go of round 1 for any division. So next week then, guys. After this, it is Monday X-Play Division 4 once again. And we get the weekend off as usual, and 7 o'clock UK time, live on Twitch, obviously. That's the only thing we can really live stream on. I was thinking of YouTube the once while it was pre-season around Monaco, but we scrapped that idea, and we decided to stick with Twitch. YouTube is much easier anyway to stream on. Twitch is a bit of a pain in the backside when it comes to streaming. Obviously you can only stream on YouTube, well, sorry, Twitch. You can save video clips such on, but let's forget about that irrelevant stuff now. Let's focus on this race. Obviously, well, first of all, do you want to talk about how this race has been?
I think it's been an up and down race. I mean, the crossover period affected lots of drivers, including Mr. Milan. It's just gone on a set of mediums, and it also ruined David's race. But he sort of recovered that race after boxing for Inters after he tried to go long on the mediums. Well, incomplete, who could have boxed and maybe gained, but he just
Incomplete.
didn't in
Sorry
the
to
end. And
interrupt.
stayed out.
Sorry to interrupt. Incomplete has just made an over. Well, Incomplete and Leo were battling for P7 there. Leo just got caught off guard. Good defending there from Incomplete, but Incomplete gets a 3-second time penalty there. So he might have cut the corner quite a lot there for it to be a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, track limits are a bit of a pain at times. You just gotta have to get up and deal with it, unfortunately. If you have a track limits penalty, then there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go into the pit stop, do a stop-go penalty. You can't do
Yeah, I
that
think
for 3
track
seconds.
limits yesterday as well, in other tiers, been really hard. I don't know, somehow yesterday I didn't get a single warning for track limits. Just able to keep it in track.
Yeah, Austria's going to be a bit of a pain of that as well. We've just got one more week to go of stupid track limit warnings. And then I think it's round 3, Azerbaijan or China.
I think it's China, yeah.
And then round 4 is
And then it's
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan and Bahrain, I think.
Yeah, I think it's after Azerbaijan, which is Bahrain. But now ICU took it into that slipstream. We enter lap 25 out to 27, and ICU just does not have that. I think he's saving his ERS to the final lap. ICU has that more ERS. Artem goes deep. There's a chance there for ICU to capitalise. Are we going to see our first bit of action? They're both flashing. That's because they don't have their ERS turned on, I'm pretty sure.
ICUC has 60% and Artem, oh no, never mind. I thought Artem had no ERS because he was flashing.
Yeah, both of them are flashing actually. I think that is due to the wet weather conditions. ICU then, I think it's drying up. It looks bone dry through Lesmo 1, but obviously there's no rain falling down now. It's just damp on the track, so the drivers will have to stick with it to the end of the race. They've got to anyway, because there's only 2 laps to go. This crossover has been absolutely bizarre, and I can't wait to see this one, because it is going to be a battle for P1. ICU makes a little bit of a mistake there, using his battery to the maximum potential, and you can see he's gaining a little bit on the straight. He seems to have a bit more straight line speed, use a bit of that inside curb. Artem is using that battery, tried to fool ICU there to go into the pits, but who has got that better straight line speed? This is all the questions that you need to ask now. Who is going to win this race? Artem makes a little bit of a mistake again, just taking a more of an inside line. ICU does not get fooled by it whatsoever, but you can see the Mercedes just has that little bit more straight line speed. Yeah, ICU, I do agree with you, Rolly. ICU is a bit more smart at the moment. Artem trying to defend the inside lines and outside lines. He's defending whatever he can to stay in championship leads at the moment. He's been in the lead of every... Sorry about that. He's taken every championship with him so far. ICU makes a little bit of a mistake there through the middle of Lesmo 1 and 2 and goes a little bit deep. Are we going to see DRS enabled? That is going to be the main question. If DRS is enabled, then Artem is in a bit of trouble. I can feel.
I don't think, maybe final lap, but I really don't think it's going to affect him much on the final lap.
Well, hello
back.
visitor, Giovanno, making up, well, he's up into P3 obviously, but he's just come out of nowhere, 5 tenths behind ICU. Artem taking that more of an inside line, you can see. Oh, he nearly take track limits there, but now the final lap of this race, we are going to see a final lap battle between these 2 drivers. Who is going to take the checkered lap? Oh my days, I can't get my words out. Who's going to take the checkered line first? Is it going to be Artem? Is it going to be ICU, our pole sitter here for tonight? Artem, 13% ERS. ICU, 21% ERS. Now down into 19%. It's going to be battle between these 2. We saw a battle in X4. We saw a battle on the final lap in X2. We are going to see a battle. DRS enabled. Artem makes a mistake. He is under so much pressure right now. and ICU is going to have the DRS on this final lap. We are going to have replays of X2 once again. Artem might have to lose this race lead. He will have to. It's a final lap overtake.
Oh, we get to 3 seconds. That's ruined his race.
Yeah, that might just seed ICU the race win here in X1. We are seeing final lap battles in X2. We are seeing final lap battles in X1 due to DRS coming into play. Mercedes are coming round for on the corner, which is Parabolica. Mercedes take the checkered flag in the first round in X1. What a battle. Giovanna will take P2 and Artem has to stick with P3. ICU championship leader. What a race. Obviously the safety car kicked in and just made things much more interesting. That is incredible. Final lap battles once again. What a first round throughout all the divisions here in EXA. I can't wait for Monday, to be honest. I actually can't. It's been an absolute mad one. X3 still has a little bit more to show. Yeah, we didn't expect that last lap. DRS come out of nowhere. And that 3-second time penalty ruined Artem's P2. Is this the championship fight then? Is it between ICU and Artem? Artem only P3 unfortunately. Giovanni P2. ICU taking the first place on the podium. But who has to be your driver of the day here this evening, William?
I think ICU's driven an amazing race. I think he's obvious. I mean, taking it on the final lap, just capitalising off Artem's mistakes. Great racing from ICUC.
Yeah, so now grid rundown. What a race that was, and you can see it is blue skies just after the race. I mean, we could have had blue skies all throughout the race, but obviously DRS on the final lap absolutely saved ICU. Who would have thought that would have happened into tyres and, you know, DRS being enabled by the FIA? Is Michael Massey coming back to life? That is one question we do need to be asking. Michael Massey coming back? What? What is going on there? But anyway, we're going to head through our grid rundown then. So P1, Mercedes of ICU. His teammate finishing P8 there of Glexus. P2, Giovanni. Artem P3. Pilot P4 had a very strong race actually from P10. Safu P5, very strong race from the Red Bull as well. David lost the race win because of poor strategies from him. P6 for David. P7 incomplete, good points for Ferrari at their home Grand Prix. P8 for Glexus. P9 for Lucas. P10 for Robin. P11 for Leo. P12 for Mr. Milan. P13, 14, 15, 16, which were was Thomas, Roger, Orax and Alfie. They all retired toward the start of this race and midway of this race. But what a race. That was completely perfect, and you know, it was a bit boring from the start to the end. Obviously we had that final lap battle. Final lap battles all week from Monday to today or Friday. Obviously 4 divisions capping off. Very fantastic racing, except X3. Obviously no offence to X3 drivers, but they do need to step up their game a little bit. But obviously we're not going to do interviews tonight, unfortunately. Obviously, because we can only interview PlayStation drivers, and there's not a lot of PlayStation drivers in here anyway. Well, there's more. I think there's more than PC anyway. But anyway, guys, that is it from us at EXA for round 1 throughout the whole week. Round 2 coming up soon on Monday, 7 o'clock UK time for X-Play Division 4. Round 1 ends at the Temple of Speed. No more saying of Temple of Speed. We're going to Nicky Lauda's favourite circuit, his home circuit, Austria. Thanks everyone for tuning in this week, and massive pleasure to everyone as well, for everyone who's in the Discord for tuning in as well for this week. Absolute pleasure to be commentating as well with some of I have to thank William as well for tonight, for joining me. I have to thank as well Snox doing X3. It was pretty hard to do I want to thank. I can't. Who can I thank? Rowley as well. Thanks for this week, mate. Absolute pleasure. You brought the right drivers in. Thanks for that, William. As well, Ultra, absolute legend, joining me on Monday. Freddie or a Vit might join me. Well, Ultra or a Vit might join me. Definitely CWM. Definitely. Thanks for reminding me of all those names. Round 2 then is up and live on Monday. Weekend, nothing is on. We might do a fun event on Sunday, but might not be streamed. But thanks to everyone. Yeah, thank you, Rowley. We are now going to go. No interviews, unfortunately. We'll do that next week on Monday, and we'll start doing that every race, every division. Just to keep you up to date as well, championship standings will be on our TikTok and Instagram. Hopefully, Rowley posts them on the Instagram. I'll post them on the TikTok as well. I'll do the race recap as well for this one. But thanks everyone for tuning in once again, and we are going to say goodbye. Thanks, William, as well. Again, I keep saying thank you, but you know, yeah, that is it from us guys tonight at ExA. I want to thank you all for this week. Goodbye.